Coming up next, get ready for some fast-paced activities the whole family can enjoy on You and Me, Kids.
Meet Rob Rabbit, a cute, fluffy, wimpy piano player who at the first sight of trouble becomes the mighty star-spangled superhero of the 80s, the American Rabbit, tonight. It has been at the forefront of men's imaginations and the proud symbol of a great nation, the American bald eagle on the next Wilderness Bound. Dateline, Disney.
Basically, what you'll see throughout the Magic Kingdom and all the Disney properties are either individual character displays or fully themed windows. At Walt Disney World Display, we've got about 10 artists representing all the disciplines of artistic endeavor. One of the advantages to doing the characters in 2 dimension, you have a very controlled point of view. There's only one way you can look at this thing. When you make the giant step from 2 dimension to 3 dimension, you're actually creating an object which is going to be viewed from many more than 360 degrees of profile. So what is apparently a simple in the final result and has the pleasing aspects of simplicity is quite difficult to arrive at.
The Walt Disney World Display Department is now packing up their show and taking it on the road to art museums and children's museums around the country. But it's no easy task. Deadlines for opening a museum show must be met, so everything must be moved efficiently and set up quickly. Just in time. So keep your eyes open. The art of Walt Disney may be speeding its way to a museum near you.
2 lovers captured by Caesar's evil soldiers and thrown to the lions. Only a miracle could save them. The Battle of Asterix versus Caesar. Then on Mouseterpiece Theater, join Mickey, Pluto, Goofy, and all your Disney favorites. Asterix versus Caesar and Mouseterpiece Theater, Tuesday.
What is it? What is that light? Holy cow.
It's a catastrophe starring Ken Berry.
Oh, your brain could run an electric train.
Harry Morgan.
Then let's get to it.
McLean Stevenson.
The Lakers by a point and a half for $100.
And Jake the wisecracking feline.
Frank, on my planet we have an expression. You rub my fur, I'll rub yours.
He's the cool cat who swings from another planet. The fur is gonna fly when the cat from outer space drops in. Wednesday on the Edison twins, a student body is up in arms.
What's all this commotion about?
My supporters are opposed to cutting down these trees.
Yeah, well, mine are too.
Will the developers get their way?
I'm not budging.
Then, to save an endangered species,
Look, in the field.
they'll go where eagles dare on Danger Bay.
Gotcha.
Edison twins in Danger Bay, Wednesday.
Baboons are playful, mischievous, and full of pranks. And the youngsters carry on a game that is one long practical joke on each other. All this seems to develop a sort of good-natured tolerance, and family discipline is seldom very strict. Both parents participate in bringing up the young, and father's just as willing to babysit as mother. But sometimes Junior isn't as willing as father.
Oh, now that's not quite right. Channel.
Coming up next, join us for the best of science, nature, and comedy in Walt Disney Presents.
The best of Hollywood takes a magical look at an extravagant age. Fate can be the trap in your path.
Bangles, bright, shiny beats.
I'm a stranger in paradise.
It's Kismet.
Can you stand on your head?
Ideas for the present, dreams for the future. Your imagination holds the key. Walt Disney once said the era we live in is a dream come true, but there are still plenty of avenues to explore. The Disney Channel invites you to join us now and imagine.
What do all these items have in common? Their brains. They all do their thinking on microchips. The microchip has a role in all of our lives. It's in our wristwatches, our TVs, our calculators, our cars. It's in our kitchens, our offices, and rec rooms. It's even in the traffic light on the corner. If what's in here were large enough to be seen, it would fill up this entire room. Simplest, the microchip is electronic circuitry, minuscule switches that work together to convey information by turning on and off, in much the same way as a telegraph operator's Morse code. This amazing slow-motion film shows electrical signals moving through a greatly magnified chip, carrying out calculation. The most powerful chips, called microprocessors, are actually mini-computers that employ memory and logic to make decisions. John Schott is a senior research associate in the Integrated Circuits Lab at Stanford University. How does a microchip work?
The basic component of a microchip is a transistor. This is an example of a transistor that you might have seen in the 1960s, early 60s, and that was actually preceded by the vacuum tube. All of these elements, the transistor, the tube, and now the microchip, are basically combinations of electronic switches. And in this case, this represents one electronic switch that was used in the 50s, whereas the modern microchip, which we see right here, and an enlargement right out here, consists of maybe 40,000, 50,000 transistors in a single small area of silicon.
The key to the chip's power is its size. The circuitry is packed together so closely that signals can travel near the speed of light. Under a microscope, the chip's surface looks like a big city. Bits of information in the form of electrical on-off signals travel through the streets of this complex city with great ease. Their arrivals and departures at various destinations translate into calculations, logic, and memory, which are then sent out to run your video game or digital watch.
And this portion of the chip is where the instructions driving the computer are actually stored. That tells the computer that the next thing we want to do is to add two numbers, for example. Now, the actual addition will take place over in this part of the chip. But the first thing we need to know is what two numbers are going to be added. The computer then is instructed to fetch numbers from the memory locations, possibly here and here. When that process begins, these numbers would be loaded on these main bus lines that look an awful lot like highways on a city map. They would be routed over to the adder region. They would be added together, and then the computer will then be instructed to either put that signal out to the pads to communicate to the outside world, namely a display, for example, if it was your calculator, or it might just store that number in another location, maybe over here, for example, by sending it down the bus, and then go back and say, now what's my next instruction?
this activity is taking place inside a chip that is small enough to be carried away in an ant's mouth. This powerful brain makes these complicated thoughts millions of times a second. The blink of an eye. But the amazing microchip did not design itself. This complex wonder is a product of man's ingenuity and creativity.
It all starts out with someone's idea. They have a concept that they would like to try out, and they begin to work on that in an experimental phase. Most of these larger designs, like we're doing now, really take a team of engineers, and so the design has to be partitioned so that a team can assemble the entire project effectively. Now, of course, the ultimate idea is to get this concept built in silicon, and that requires laying out the individual transistors, designing them so that they all function in concert. And in the early days, that was all done manually with layouts as we have in the back wall here, where a person would lay out circuits of 10, 50, 100 transistors complexity. But of course, that soon became overly complex, and now we use interactive computer graphics, such as we see here, to help us convert an idea into the geometry that will ultimately embody in the silicon.
The finished design map of the chip is then reduced and transferred to a glass plate, much like the negative for a photograph. It is this plate, called a mask, that will be used to begin the manufacturing process.
Now this is the clean room where we're going to begin the fabrication process. All of the air in here is very specially filtered because the integrated circuits will be damaged by dust particles falling on them. And in fact, each of us emits maybe 1 million particles every minute. So we have to wear this very special protective clothing so that we don't harm the integrated circuits.
What does a dust particle do to it?
Well, it can destroy an individual transistor, and on a big integrated circuit, if we destroy very many of those, the circuit will not work as designed, so we have to be very careful about that. Now, in this area, we're going to take the mask that we just made and install it in this machine so that it will project an image of the pattern onto the actual integrated circuit wafer. Now this machine is capable of very precisely aligning the mask and exposing it very much like the photographic process. And we can see that it in fact is doing that at this time.
Now that the microchip pattern has been imprinted on the silicon wafer, it goes through a series of etching treatments. Each treatment carves out layer after layer of the pattern. Finally, the complete pattern is revealed. Thousands of transistors have been formed. The microchip is complete.
Now, when we completed that process, we would end up with a wafer such as the one here, where we have maybe 100 circuits, each of them containing 40,000 transistors.
Is that then ready to go into a computer or a wristwatch or whatever?
Well, very close to that. We would first take it to the testing area, where each of those chips is electrically tested to make sure that it's functional. We would cut up the functional chips and place them in packages which can then be put in a calculator, a wristwatch, or a computer.
Every year for the last 2 decades, engineers have been able to roughly double the number of components on a chip by making them smaller. More components, more power. That means that in the near future, we can expect technological miracles that prior to now were only possible through science fiction fantasies. Electronic hearing for the deaf, sight for the blind, personal robots that can walk, talk, and reason. An amazing variety of tools to free the human mind to think and create. An example of a microscopic world that will completely change our lives.
Coming up next, America's favorite family returns in all new episodes. Join us for the missing adventures of Ozzie and Harriet.
The best of Hollywood transports you into the lavish world of Mesopotamia
Not bad.
to relive a time long forgotten.
I'm a bit famous to what your rights are.
We have none, Master. Your word is our law.
And take a musical look at an extravagant age.
Trouble, spangled, bright, shiny beat.
Howard Keel, Ann Blythe, and Victor Moan star in Kismet. Every 4 years, the world stops to celebrate the Olympic ideals of sportsmanship and goodwill. Revisit the Summer Games of 1984 and the quiet moments of personal heroism both on and off the field. From an amazing athlete who challenged Olympic history to the emergence of a nation destined to rewrite it. Relive the historic moments that have created Olympic memories in the final chapter of 16 Days of Glory. Wednesday on the Edison Twins, a student body is up in arms.
What's all this commotion about? My supporters are opposed to cutting down these trees.
Yeah, well, mine are too.
Will the developers get their way?
I'm not budging.
Then, to save an endangered species,
Look, in the field.
they'll go where eagles dare on Danger Bay.
Gotcha.
Edison Twins in Danger Bay, Wednesday.
Coming up next, join Dumbo and his friends for life under the big top in Dumbo's Circus. Coming up next, join your favorite Pooh Corner pals for fun in the enchanted 100-acre wood on Welcome to Pooh Corner.
Look, it's Donald.
Coming up next, follow the adventures of Toad, Mole, Rat, and Badger in The Wind in the Willows.
Meet Rob Rabbit, a cute, fluffy, wimpy piano player who at the first sign of trouble becomes the mighty star-spangled superhero of the 80s, the American Rabbit, tonight.
Coming up next, join Super Sleuths Tom and Annie Edison as they team up to solve mysteries in the Edison Twins.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a rabbit on roller skates.
Come on, kid. There's a world out there that needs saving.
And who disguised as a fluffy little bunny
I'm going to kill that cute little rabbit.
fights a never-ending battle for truth,
What are you looking at, lunch meat?
justice,
Who protects us from bums like you?
and the American way. The Adventures of the American Rabbit. Wednesday on the Edison Twins, a student body is up in arms.
What's all this commotion about? My supporters are opposed to cutting down these trees.
Yeah, well, mine are too.
Will the developers get their way?
I'm not budging.
Then, to save an endangered species,
Look, in the field.
they'll go where eagles dare on Danger Bay.
Gotcha.
Edison Twins and Danger Bay, Wednesday. It's a Disney Channel special presentation.
You dirty rat. You stole our cup and we want it back. Play us tonight.
Come on, boy. We'll show him. You're on. Fair and square.
The Cheddar Cup Championship is up for grabs on Tales of the Mouse Hockey League.
Snow White.
Coming up next, that devious duck is your host for a half hour of cartoon craziness on Donald Duck Presents.
Hello. It's time once again to share the stories and drawings that you've sent to us here on Read, Write, and Draw. I'm Vincent Price, and I've got some letters here that I'm sure you'll enjoy. But first, let's read the beginning of today's story, Miss Tray. Every summer, Mary, Will, and their parents spent the month of August in a cabin by a lake. Over the years, the children had heard the stories about Miss Tray from other children who'd vacationed here. She's a witch, one child had said. I saw her looking for toadstools, said another. I think she rides on a broom, said a third. Don't listen to those stories, Papa said. She's just an old lady who lives alone, added Mama. But the children weren't convinced. One day Mary said, I dare you to go up on her front porch. I dare you back, said Will. Miss Tray's cabin was not far from theirs. That afternoon they walked up the dark dirt road that led to Miss Tray's, and the sky darkened with rain clouds, and there was a rumble of thunder. Tall fir trees cast giant shadows. Miss Tray's cabin suddenly came into view. Do you think Miss Tray is inside? Mary and Will had better be careful, I'll tell you that. Let's read the end of the story from Catherine Ferranti of Santa Barbara, California. Mary and Will stepped in the house. There, standing over a huge black pot, was Miss Tray. In the pot was a green, boiling liquid. Will and Mary thought it was magic potion. Miss Tray kept saying, all spirits, ghosts, goblins, make this potion magic. Wow, exclaimed Will and Mary. It's amazing, said Mary. Then Miss Tray saw Will and Mary. She chased them all around. The green potion jumped out of the pot. It landed right on Miss Tray. It gobbled her up. The children ran out. They told their parents everything. The parents never did believe them. What an incredible ending. Now, would you believe Mary and Will? Well, their parents don't. I don't blame them. Here's Catherine's drawing, and it's a real fun one. There's Miss Tray, the witch, all in black, of course, witches always wear black. There's the potion bubbling up from the great big pot. And it says here, kids are hiding behind the shelf. I don't blame them, do you? Well, it's time to go. And in a way, I'm glad. Scary stories give me nightmares. Woo. I'm Vincent Price. Join me next time for more great stories and drawings on Read, Write, and Draw.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a rabbit on roller skates.
Come on, kid. There's a world out there that needs saving.
And who disguised as a fluffy little bunny
I'm going to kill that putrid little rabbit.
fights a never-ending battle for truth,
What are you looking at, lunch meat?
justice,
Who protects us from bums like you?
and the American way. The Adventures of the American Rabbit. It has been at the forefront of men's imaginations and the proud symbol of a great nation. The American bald eagle on the next Wilderness Bound. Two lovers captured by Caesar's evil soldiers and thrown to the lions. Only a miracle could save them.
To the rescue!
The Battle of Asterix versus Caesar. Then on Mouseterpiece Theater, join Mickey, Pluto, Goofy, and all your Disney favorites. Asterix versus Caesar and Mouseterpiece Theater, Tuesday.